We have some very, very sad news to bring you tonight. Phyllis George has died. The former Miss America, First Lady of Kentucky, the broadcasting pioneer, was 70 years old. She died Thursday at the University of Kentucky Medical Center following a very long illness. A fraction of her accomplishments would have been a full life for most people. She was also a very good friend for many years and the proud mother of our CNN colleague and friend Pamela Brown and her brother Lincoln. Both are very, very special and wonderful people. Our chief media correspondent, Brian Stelter, is joining us right now. Brian, she lived a truly extraordinary life. What was her impact, first of all, on the world of television?
Yes, she absolutely did, Wolf, and this is a loss of an icon in the media world, as well as an enormous loss for Pamela Brown and for her family and for the family there. You know, Phyllis was the first female co-anchor of NFL Today, the famous football pregame show on CBS. She was a trailblazer in the 1970s when there were so few women on television anchoring and covering sports. She was able to interview football stars and other legends in a way that nobody else was. She was able to get them to open up. In fact, her fellow co-hosts on the NFL Today praised her for her humanity and her ability to get people to share their personal experiences. So she was doing that for years on CBS. She also covered Super Bowls and Rose Bowls and other premier sporting events, and then went on to host shows like Candid Camera. She briefly hosted the CBS News Morning Show. She had these important jobs in broadcasting at a time when you didn't see women in those roles, and she deserves a lot of credit for being a trailblazer in that way.
I know you had a chance to speak with our colleague Pamela earlier today. Tell us about that conversation, what she and her wonderful brother Lincoln had to say about their mom.
That's right. Pamela and Lincoln were able to be there with Phyllis during her final hours in the hospital. They had been with their mom for years as she battled this blood disorder. A lot of people didn't know that Phyllis had this blood disorder for decades, and she lived a lot longer than the doctors thought she ever would. She was in a coma in her final weeks in the hospital, but she was able her kids were able to be there and even to speak with her. They said that Phyllis teared up in those final moments. So clearly, the mom was able to hear what their children were saying in those final moments. Pamela and Lincoln remember their mom as someone who was so full of warmth and love, loved being around people.